Welcome back to the Flailing Forward podcast. I am your host, Dustin Seiler. This is the podcast where we speak with business owners, entrepreneurs, investors, listening to their journey and the lessons that they learned along the way because it's not always pretty. Sometimes it's a little bit messy and you end up flailing, but that's what moves you forward in your journey. So today I am joined by Raz Mihalyi. You got to say it for me again, man. I'm so sorry.
You got it right. It's fine.
Okay, all right, we did it. Roz is a great investor. He's a business owner. He is an entrepreneur, and he is a technological genius, guys. He's been doing that for years and years, but he's got a great story and a great journey that we're going to talk about today. But Roz, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, your investing journey kind of starts in the early 2020s, right in the heart of COVID. Before that, you
Yep.
had a W-2. What made you decide to take the jump from W-2 to investing right in the middle of a worldwide pandemic?
Yeah, if you put it like that, it sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, it was definitely some flailing involved in that.
Yeah, right.
And the story is kind of funny because it was actually my wife who gave me a nudge to do that. In the pandemic, we were pretty much stuck at home, right? And we were living in Seattle at the time, and you know, with our family growing, stuck at home, right, in a small space, what was I thinking? Like, we need a bigger space, right? And I was actually on Zillow looking for a bigger primary home for us.
Uh-huh.
And my wife saw me one day and she's like, "What, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm looking for a bigger home for us." And she's like, "You idiot. We need to buy an investment property. We don't need to buy a bigger primary home for us." And I was like, "Yep, you're right, as usual." And
The voice of reason, always listen to your wives, guys.
yep. So, the next day I pretty much switched from looking for a primary home to looking for an investment home.
Yeah.
And as you said, it was during COVID, and as we all know, during COVID, Airbnbs were popular.
Hmm.
And we have a real estate friend a real estate agent friend in Florida, who was herself buying Airbnbs at the time, and she was telling us about her market and how cool it is. And she was boots on the ground for us there as well. So we decided to give it a try. My wife flew there. They looked at some houses, and she's like, "Yeah, this is pretty nice. And look at all this potential cash flow." So, we didn't know anything about real estate investing at the time.
Yeah.
We bought this traditionally, and we just jumped the gun and we went there for the summer, set it up, and launched it. But then we quickly realized we don't know much about running an Airbnb.
Right.
So we of course went to YouTube. We watched all the relevant videos on that, and then we joined a small community, like an online community that was a group of people teaching about how to run an Airbnb.
Hmm.
And we joined that. My wife jumped on the bandwagon, and we started it that way
Gotcha. So, where were you guys living when you purchased this Florida property?
in Seattle.
In Seattle. And out of state landlords,
Yeah.
Airbnb. So, I mean, a property that requires a lot of care and management. And I mean, you're
Yep.
in customer service when you're doing an Airbnb, really.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you guys are doing it from across the country.
Yep.
How did that go? What made you choose Florida?
Well, the fact that it was a vacation spot, the fact that we had some kind of testimonials, right, of the area because
Yeah.
of our real estate agent friend who was there. She also had an Airbnb, and she was telling us, she was showing us the real returns that she was getting,
Hmm.
and the fact that we knew that we could rely on her, worst case scenario, that she would be able to go to the property and take care of things if we're not able to arrange it.
Yeah.
But that's where the kind of the education part of being part of that community of people who are running Airbnbs and having almost like a checklist or an operating procedure of what to do before you launch an Airbnb and before you launch an out-of-state Airbnb.
Yeah.
That was another thing, right? We had proof that other people had done it,
Hmm.
and we're like, okay, this is possible. We can do it.
Yeah.
And we went essentially through that checklist, and we found a cleaner that we really liked, who kind of became our pseudo property manager because she was in charge of a lot of things. We found a good handyman that we could trust. So we formed our team
Hmm.
on the ground together with our friend who was kind of our, boots on the ground emergency person.
Yeah.
And that's what gave us motivation to go and do it. And we've been doing it for my wife is still doing it right now.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
had your team in place before you even listed it for your first booking.
Yes. Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah. Be
Yeah.
nice to have a community that can give you recommendations and kind of, I mean, community
Oh
is
yeah.
so important for developing that team.
Yeah, I mean that's how we looked at it. Talk about flailing, right? We would have made all the mistakes. Yeah, we essentially saw that as cutting our learning curve and paying for that education, right? Because otherwise we would have made all the mistakes ourselves like that. We could learn from other people's mistakes, right? Which is always a good cheat sheet, cheat
Yeah.
code.
Yeah. Why go through it if somebody else has already done it for you and written
Yeah,
a book on
exactly. Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Nice. And so you guys are still running that one. Did you add more Airbnbs to your portfolio?
We did, yeah. And actually, we joined other communities to learn how to continue to acquire these properties because my wife really, got into it, and she's really good at managing. So we're like, okay, look, how do we do more? Because when you buy stuff traditionally, then you end up being capped at some
Yeah.
point.
Yep.
You also have to come out of pocket with more money, right? So
Yeah.
a bunch of disadvantages. So then we stumbled upon these creative financing options for buying properties, and within these other communities, we formed partnerships and we purchased Airbnbs that way.
That's fantastic. Yeah, same thing as you. I completely scaled out of traditional buying
Hmm.
by bringing the 20, 25, 30% down, getting a conventional loan. Man, that just it kills your momentum so quickly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I have to ask, in this day and age, there's a lot of controversy out there about Airbnb. What are your thoughts? You're still running some. What are your thoughts? Is Airbnb something people should jump into, or where are you at with that?
I wouldn't jump in on it right now. I think as in most cases, there are always opportunities in kind of challenging times. I would say that when we got into it, a lot of people were doing it because a lot of people were stuck at home. Maybe they were traveling. Um, there was uh, there was a lot of demand. Now we see the demand has been going down for travel. Maybe people don't have enough discretionary income, whatever other reasons.
Mhm.
Um, and you see this happening. At the same time, with the demand going down, you also see the supply going down because a lot of the people who jumped in during those hot times might not be able to keep up with the expenses, right? So I wouldn't do it again. I will say that there are good reasons to do it. Like if you're looking for, and it depends on your situation. If you're looking for tax depreciation benefits and you have a W-2, then there's still that tax loophole where if you have an Airbnb that you're managing yourself for, whatever percentage of the time, don't quote me, not a not a tax expert.
Disclaimer,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
an
yeah.
expert.
No,
Yeah.
not financial advice. Um,
Everybody
there's
check
still
with your
that,
CPA.
yeah, yeah. There's still that option, right? And I
Yeah,
know people who are still doing it exactly for that reason, which can be a good play, right? For the
sure.
depreciation benefits. But it is a lot of work. And I know that my wife is not super happy with it anymore.
Yeah, has it become kind of overwhelming with the amount of work and stuff that goes into
Yeah,
it?
yeah. It has, and at the same time, there's a lot to be said about systematizing it. And I know that there are people who scale to a lot of properties and they're able to run them with a team of virtual assistants, for example, or other systems in place. And on my side, just because technology is my passion and my strength, like I made sure that we put all the systems in place where uh, a lot of the kind of the low level tasks, the nitty gritty are handled, are automated.
Yeah.
For example, our property management system had this functionality, I think way before ChatGPT was out, like before AI became mainstream. It had the ability to detect in the messages from guests
Hmm.
whether they're asking about the Wi-Fi or how to control the temperature or something like that. So I put in some rules essentially to say that if the property management system detects there is something about Wi-Fi, it would just send them the directions about Wi-Fi, right? So that my wife would not have to manually say, go there, here's the link, here's the password, right?
Yeah.
It would just like get taken care of. So a lot of these small optimizations that make day-to-day operations a bit easier.
Oh, that's so smart. You have automatic bounce back messages for certain
Yeah.
keywords in the tenant's
Yeah.
message. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. Takes a lot off because again, it's such a hospitality driven industry, Airbnb is. For those that are going to go into it, you have to know you're getting into a hospitality business and not just a real estate business. It is
Right.
customer service oriented, but having those little automations has got to help. Even so, it sounds like it still is becoming an overwhelming amount of work that is
Yeah.
kind of burying her a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're totally passionate about it, then you'll do it. It's just I feel like the passion has kind of gone down out the window for her.
Yeah. Know
Yeah,
what you're
it is
getting
draining. It is
into.
draining dealing with the hospitality and customer service side of things.
Yeah. And so you kind of, after those Airbnbs, I mean, those ran their course and now you've sort of pivoted a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I've I have pivoted a little bit in the sense I've kind of continued down this path because when we started in down this real estate investment path, I also learned about private money lending and how this is a an opportunity to diversify investments from what I was used to, which is stocks, crypto, the traditional W-2 assets
Yeah.
um, to lending, right? To private money lending, to putting money into a project of various types for various duration of time, where you actually have the real estate as collateral for that. So I
Mhm.
started doing a bit of that, and I started doing that pretty much around the same time, 2022, and I've continued doing it.
Yeah.
So right now, I partnered with my good friend Effie, and we have a transactional lending business, which is focused on very specific types of transactions that happen, fairly quickly.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah, no, Effie has a great podcast, What the Effie.
yeah,
So people can check that out and learn about what she's doing. And obviously in your partnership, your lending business, I think she talks about that occasionally on the podcast.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm sometimes a host,
there you go.
a
Hey, all
co-host.
right. Yeah, yeah. So when people tune in to see Effie and they see you on there, they're like, "What the Effie?" So
Yeah, what Effie? Yeah.
that funds. But yeah, no. So I would imagine that as you were scaling, as you got into the creative methods and stuff, as we talked about, you scale out pretty quickly. Traditional, you were probably using some of these private money lenders to scale your portfolio. Is that sort of how you were learning and getting into the lending business, or was that before?
Yeah, it was a bit of both, I think. But I first started by being a lender myself because I wanted to understand how it looks like from the lender's perspective.
Yeah,
What are some of the questions that I have? So that's actually how I started doing lending, and then I did leverage some private money lenders on a few projects.
gotcha. Have you ever had a deal that didn't go according to plan that you were a lender on or a connector on?
Yeah, I don't think I was ever a connector. But yes, I have had several. I actually have one right now that we're trying to get our funds back.
Gotcha.
I will say that there are so many lessons that we learned in these types of lending where the real estate is a collateral, whether it's a fix and flip or a private money partnership type loan.
Hmm.
Um, there are so many nuances and things that can go wrong that there was a lot of a lot of learning, a lot of taking action without necessarily asking all the questions up front, and then learning it kind of the hard way.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm kind of grateful for that because now I know much better, and networking and talking to people who are doing it for a long time has taught me a lot of things about doing this.
Yeah. What's maybe one or two things you've learned from this deal that you're trying to get your money back on now that you would do differently in the future?
One thing is this is a deal that this is a repeat loan. So I had a project that was successful with this borrower, and then he needed some additional funds
Hmm.
and for another project. So I was like, okay, he paid on time, communication was great, this is a good borrower. We can have a good relationship, right? Because
Yeah.
lending is very much about the relation. It's very much a relationship business.
Sure.
And I I essentially lowered my guard, and it was a bit of an unconventional like loan where I didn't have all the protections in place. I
Hmm.
was like, he already paid me once, like he's good, right?
Yeah.
Not doing that again because, through no fault of his own, I'm sure that at some point you can argue that there is some of his fault, but this is a project in Florida. The market, it was exactly when the market in Florida was going down, just before the election, like, 6 months or so before the elections. And things just went completely sideways for him. And he had multiple projects like that. And now he is ghosting everybody, he, like totally disappeared. And we're going the legal route right now.
Yeah.
So that's a big lesson. And the other one that not that I've been burned by it, but I came to realize that I could be burned by it
Hmm.
is something that I actually picked up from Abraham Gray by attending his lending mastermind event.
Yeah.
Um, which is focus and the selection of a market where you're doing that is super important because he's kind of famous for only doing lending in Georgia and
Yeah.
ideally in the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
And I learned that I was exposing myself to a lot of risk by, just networking with people and doing deals, all over the country. Like I did loans in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and I don't know squat about the laws in South Carolina and North Carolina and how they differ, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I haven't been burned by that, but I could have been, right?
Right.
In terms of like, how do you foreclose? What is the timeline? Will you get your money back in 6 months, in 12 months
Yeah.
if you foreclose? And that was a big lesson that I had, like a big aha from being at his mastermind.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, yeah, a couple things that I heard there is number one, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter how many times you've worked with them or what kind of deals you've done in the past. always verify and always set up the same protections every time so that you know you're fully protected, regardless
Yeah.
of track record, because you never know when things will go south.
Right.
And then also really know the areas that you're working in and maybe even niche down and focus on specific areas so that you can know everything that's going on in that area. Both, I would imagine, both from a market perspective, so you can know if a
Yeah.
deal is going to make sense or not, but also, like you said, from a legal perspective, if you have to take legal recourse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, those are some great lessons. And for those who are lenders out there, the lesson is always communicate. Don't just ghost people so that you end up in a legal battle.
Yeah.
Communicate, 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 and make sure your deal's solid. Don't over
Yeah.
leverage your deal. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that you do some lending or you work with lenders as well, right?
I have done some lending, yeah, and I have made similar mistakes as you.
Okay.
I've ended up with properties I had no intention of ending up with because of some
Yeah.
deals that went south.
Yeah.
And I've lost a good amount of money on some lending deals as well, that were real educational opportunities. Similar to what you said, I learned a lot along the way and how to do it differently going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But the nice thing is, I think, I don't know if you feel this way as well, but I feel like having gone through that as a lender, when I now approach lenders for funding for my deals, I know what they're thinking. I know some of the insecurities they may have about a deal. I know some of the questions they're going to have. I can
Yeah.
approach it from someone who has gone through that worst case scenario and lost money on a lending deal and explain to them why I know what they're feeling and what I'm going to do to hopefully protect them as best I can from
Right.
having that same experience.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things that I got out of this as well, and also, talking to other lenders and raising money for some of the projects that we were working on. I now having gone through all of this, I realize how I can better present the project and the opportunity with making sure that their downside is covered. And,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah. No, that's great.
because a lot of times like people that I talk to and people that I raised money from, they don't know much about real estate in general, or lending really. So it's like, yeah, let's make sure that we have some documents in place, but if you just get a promissory note and the personal guarantee, that might not be worth anything. That might not give you much in terms of the legal recourse. So,
Right.
you can give them some documents so that they have some level of security, but in reality, it's not much. And unfortunately, that level of that lack of education is it can be crucial, right?
Right. Yeah. And there are those out there that are going to take advantage of that lack of education
Yeah.
and in order to get a quick deal done or, get some money or whatever for a deal that is going sideways. That's why it's important that people work with, lenders such as yourself who have a track record of securing people and taking care of the people whose money they're putting to work. So what's the name of your lending company if people want to look into it?
Yeah, it's Sunrise Capital Partners is the name. And right now, as I said, we do transactional lending, and we focus on double closes and funding Morby methods, for which is a specific type of business acquisition
Awesome.
structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Awesome.
not business acquisition, property acquisition.
Property,
Could
yeah.
be business
It can
too.
be business too. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So very cool. And in the meantime, not only are you running a lending business and an Airbnb business, but you also have one of
Wait,
the
what?
fastest growing listing services on the internet in creativelisting.com, right? And you
Yeah.
are also running that.
Yes, that is something that I'm very excited about. I'm running creativelisting.com together with my partner Ingrid,
Uh-huh.
and this is a marketplace for properties. Right now we're expanding it. Right now it's residential properties, and land.
Mhm.
We recently added that. It's a marketplace for people to buy and sell these types of properties. The keyword there is creative, because we allow structures like subject to seller financing, lease options, all these creative financing strategies around purchasing real estate.
Hmm.
And this is something that it doesn't exist on the market to, like an aggregated marketplace. And Yeah, we also have traditional, like we allow traditional properties as well, traditional listings. It's not exclusively creative.
Yeah.
It's mostly creative. That's the part that I'm happy about, that it kind of naturally gravitates towards that. We're at around 70% creative, 30% traditional.
Yeah.
And Yeah, we launched this in June and we're continuing to grow it. We're continuing to add features to it. And yeah, we're getting lots of feedback, which is great. We love that because it's still very much a work in progress.
Sure.
We launched it and we had a demo for one of the communities that we're part of. And Yeah, the plan is to continue to grow that.
Yeah. I think I love it because I think it is the most investor focused platform to find a deal. Whether it's a cash deal or a creative deal or a traditional deal, I think it's largely focused towards investors where you can't go to the MLS and find investor focused deals, right? I love that the terms are for these creative deals are just right there for you to see. You don't have to call up and, try and get out what the terms are. They're
Yeah,
just right there for you so you know if you're interested in it and if it's a deal or close to a deal. It's really great. And did you guys hit 50,000 users? Is that or
we
something?
did. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, we just hit 50,000 and our goal is to reach a hundred and yeah, we're working on that.
that's amazing. I mean, and that's only in the few months since it's been up and listed.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, six
Yep.
months,
Yep.
which is incredible. That's so great. And it really is. I mean, if you're looking for a creative deal, there's no other place that has listings of so many nationwide creative deals all in one spot for
That's
people.
right. Yeah, and the best thing about it is that it's free to browse and to look at it, to look at listings, just like Zillow and Redfin. You can just sign up and explore,
Yeah,
see if there's anything that fits your criteria.
that's it. And I'm sure it's been smooth sailing getting this thing up and running, right? There's been no hiccups at all.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's been quite a journey, right? From having last minute conversations and changing course on how we're thinking about our users and who are the buyers, who are the sellers, and so on.
Yeah.
To you know the latest thing was I was on vacation and I kept on getting some alerts from the system that something unusual is happening, and we got somewhat of a bot attack.
Oh, no.
And Yeah, we were targeted from outside of the US.
Jeez.
There was yeah, it happens, and
Yeah.
it was raising some of the alarms.
Mm.
Anyway, I was on vacation, but I had my laptop with me, so I
Took care.
I quickly raised the firewall and made sure that we're protecting our resources. So it was okay in the end, but all sorts of random things happening.
Hey, if you're important enough for somebody to attack you from outside the US, that means you're getting some traction and getting some eyes on. So that must mean that the website's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I know we're doing a good job promoting it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How
Yeah.
long were you working on this before it went live?
Um, 3 months, I think, until we had our prototype to go live and
Okay.
the main functionality.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went fast.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
fast, very fast. What's the benefit in going fast versus, taking more time? And I mean, were there any problems with going that fast, or did it just kind of come together?
Yeah, I mean, there are always pros and cons, right? If you go fast, you kind of acknowledge that you don't have a perfect product that you're launching, and we we decided to do that, right? We embrace that. We're still telling people that, hey, we're still testing this. Like, give us your feedback because our one of our core principles is to move fast and to put it in front of people so that they can test it, and we either get the data saying that, hey, 10,000 people clicked on, the offers page and it's not loading, right? That is going to raise alarms, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is we get feedback, right? People tell us, hey, we really need this thing because it doesn't make sense. They're like, oh, one person says it, fine, just a preference. But if 1,000 people say it, then you get that input, and it's like, okay, well, let's build it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I like to operate as well. But it also, I think, aligned within the team that we're working with to make that happen. So
Sure. I mean, that is a great way to get some serious, testing on it, roll it out to everybody. You're getting a lot of feedback from that many
yeah,
users. And I get,
yeah,
as long as the team's on it and fixing it and listening to the feedback that comes,
yeah.
that makes it even that much more friendly in my mind because it's a direct fix based off of the feedback that's coming in lifetime.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. And the only thing is to set expectations properly and to have the user base have that tolerance, right? And the fact that we launched as a free product, and to a certain extent it's always going to stay, like a big chunk of it is always going to be free.
Hmm.
We will start monetizing it, so we'll introduce some paid features,
Hmm.
but the main functionality is always going to be free. And I think that played a part. Like, if you launch a product that where people have to pay and it doesn't meet the bar, then you might have a different approach.
Yeah.
But for us, I think there was a lot of goodwill with our user base because we said up front, like, hey, we're testing this. We need your input, and it's the feedback has been great. Something else that Ingrid and I are doing is we're doing a monthly webinar
Hmm.
to talk about the features that we've rolled out in the past month. We're doing a Q&A as well, where we get questions from the audience. We're reminding people that we have a built-in capability for them to suggest new features and to upvote them. Like, that's a pretty standard and popular way to do it. So if there's something that people really, really want, then they would go post about it. And then if it's something that a lot of users resonate with, they will upvote it and that will bubble it up, right? Then we'll know, like, hey, people really want to have, I don't know, RV parks because this is very popular right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is anybody able to come to those webinars?
Yeah, yeah, it's totally free. It's open to everybody. We advertise it on Creative Listing as well, just about a week in advance, so people can register directly. And yeah,
Awesome. Okay. So if anybody wants to come and give their feedback or learn how to better use it, they can find the information for it on creativelisting.com.
yeah, that's
Perfect.
right.
Okay, cool. I mean, it sounds like it was kind of a great combination for you as an investor and also as somebody who had worked full time in technology for a long period of time. That's like
Yeah.
a perfect marriage of bringing you together on this project.
Yeah, yeah, I like that a lot as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing when we bring this third leg, which is lending that we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's an important part of the transaction, right? Like, if you have a property and you want to buy it, but you need a private money lender, you might want to have a way to, I don't know, broadcast it to a bunch of lenders, let's say.
Right.
So that could be something that we build in where we mix these three components.
Oh man, breaking news right here, guys. Rolling out lender services on creativelisting.com.
Not
Up and
yet, not
coming.
yet, but
Stay tuned. Keep an eye out.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. It's going to be the one-stop shop for finding creative deals. I mean, everything in one place, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Incredible. And now you're still doing some technology work as well, right? Not just with the website, but in other areas as well.
Yeah. I'm doing some consulting work, helping folks put together some processes in their business. Whether it's AI agents are super popular right now.
Mhm.
Uh, Finding ways to integrate that into their workflows and optimize that. So yeah, I'm doing that as well.
What's one or two of the main things that you see constantly in people's businesses that technology can fix for them?
Um, I think there is still a lot of there are still a lot of things that are not automated, where people are still doing it manually, and I feel like they are right now focused on how AI can help them. But if the process itself is not streamlined enough,
Mhm.
then putting it in a bunch of AI tools is still not going to help a lot. So that's where I like to look at the business, at the process kind of holistically and see where it makes sense to combine things, or maybe there's a small tool that can be built. And nowadays with AI, we can move much faster on building these tools,
Yeah.
where if before something took like 3 months to build, like now it can be done in a week, where you have a custom made solution that you can plug into your business. An example could be things like signing software, right?
Mhm.
Like a lot of businesses that are generating, I don't know, term sheets or all sorts of documents that require um, signatures. They're not taking advantage of that. So
Hmm.
of the automations that can be put in place there. There are a bunch of like obstacles and points of friction, which make that quite difficult. But with a few businesses, I found a sweet spot. So for that specific problem. So those are some examples where I feel like the businesses that I've helped with benefited from. Yeah.
Gotcha. I like the fact that basically what you're saying is it's more than just a prompt. It's more than just putting something into Chat GPT and saying fix my business. You come in and look at it with, a business, an entrepreneurial mindset, and as someone who can see these different variables and understand the friction points, and then design a prompt to fix the issue. But you
Yeah.
take that actual approach of looking at it holistically first and figuring out where to deploy the technology.
Right. And a prompt might not necessarily be the right solution
Right.
at that point, right? Like AI is cool, but it can't solve everything. Like I was recently having a conversation with someone who was asking about how can I automate my follow up and my how can I add AI to this? And like one, it can be done, but two, I don't know if you want to do that, because your follow up and everything, that is like you're talking about the relationship business here.
Yeah.
And the moment that you bring something that sounds a bit off, we are able to detect that
Hmm.
very quickly, right? So yeah, AI might not be the solution for everything, right? It might just be a simple automation, or it might be like, let's automate everything else so that you can take care of this thing that needs to be highly personal and have your voice. And of course, there are ways in which you can make your voice come from an AI as well. But yeah,
Sure. But yeah, you got to keep the human touch in a relationship centric business such as this. You've got to keep that
yeah,
human touch. And I think some of the art in what you do comes in knowing where to keep the human involved and where to take out those friction points by using AI or technology or some
right.
other method in order to free up more time so that you can spend it on the actual relationship points and less on the friction points.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we are going to be we're already seeing it, right? There's a lot of AI content that is generated.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of what's called AI slop that is generated, and these genuine conversations will naturally stand out, right? So you want to focus more on the human touch, especially in a business that is relationship driven.
Right. Is now the time where we tell everybody that this whole interview was AI?
Yeah, that's
No.
what. Yeah, this was my clone.
Yeah, that's right. No.
Yeah, no, I gave. I stumbled upon my words too many times. This is genuine.
Right? I'd look a lot better if I was AI
Yeah,
generated.
yeah, yeah,
So what you're saying is there's some things out there that are safe from AI. Not every job is going to be taken over by AI.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, good.
yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, this has been great. I really appreciate you jumping on here. There's so many good lessons that have been learned along your journey about, how to protect yourself, educational experiences, personalization, hospitality, AI. You've just been a wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate you jumping on. If people want to learn more about you or connect with you, how can they do it?
Instagram is the best way. We'll put it. I'm sure we'll put it in the description.
Yep.
And for lending, Sunrise Capital Partners.
Okay, awesome. And what are you looking for in your business? What can people bring to you if they're looking to work with you?
Um, Leads on transactional lending. That's what we always appreciate. More business that way. Where Effie and I have talked about our strategy. We're not growing this business very aggressively. We want to work with a select number of people who are doing deals on a repeated basis, and we would like to earn their trust to become their lending partner.
Hmm.
So we're always looking to connect with more people who are doing these types of transactions.
Hmm.
And on the consulting side, if you have a business and you have some spots that can be optimized, you know, let's talk.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, if you want to know more about Raz, if you want to connect with him, if you want to work with him, do work with him. We'll put his Instagram link down in the bio. Hit up Sunrise Capital Partners if you need EMD, transactional funding, any of that kind of stuff. If you want to just find out what kind of things they fund, go check it out and see what they do and if it will work for you. And in the meantime, get out there, take some action. You don't have to look good. You can look like a baby giraffe on ice skates. As long as you're flailing, you're moving forward. So get out there and take some action today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.